So, how we doing, guys? Ah, dang it! I put the camera on the wrong side. I don't know what's for supper, ground pounder. I wish I knew. I figure it out. I'm always kind of a late eater. I usually finish like this live around 8, 9 o'clock. Usually when I start to think about dinner. So, yeah. God, I gotta remember that is over there. Chili dogs. Dang, everybody's having corn dogs. Chili dog sounds really good. It sounds really good, actually. Yeah, I was actually speaking of food. I had this weird idea. I have this like dessert that my mom made ever since I was a little kid, and it's I don't know if anybody else has ever tried this, and I was actually gonna put it on like do a YouTube video and put it up, but like I recorded it, and I may still do it, but it's like the most refreshing like light meal dessert wise that you can have that's not like crazy sweet because I'm not much on super sweet stuff, but it's like a mixture of. This is so weird. I know this sounds weird because I'm not a fan of any of these ingredients by themselves, really. But cottage cheese, and it's like a cup of everything, and like 2 cups of mini marshmallows. So cottage cheese, marshmallows, fruit salad, like a can of fruit salad, and heavy syrup, crushed pineapple, um, crushed pecans. Um, I know there's something else. There's like 6 ingredients, but it's always been called 7 cup salad. Is what my mom always called it. So, cottage cheese, marshmallows. Oh, coconut, flaked coconut, and you mix it all together, and it is insane. It's so good. Maybe I'll do a video sometime and put it up. I just didn't know if that's like something that I've never seen it anywhere else. I've never heard anybody ever talk about it. When I say 7 cup salad, everyone always says, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about," and they're usually talking about some kind of beans and green bean salad or casserole, and it ends up when you tell them it's a dessert, then they're like, "What?" So, what's up, Turbo? I see I missed a couple. Let me get back here. Okay, he's talking to Ground Pounder. We got Clint here. Awesome. Billy's here. Billy, that's the same thing with that 7 cup salad. It takes it a while for it all to kind of combine and become one, but it's not the most appetizing thing. I can't say like I'm a huge fan of eating things that are just like white, like mayonnaise. It's not the most appetizing flavor or like color, but yeah, it is so good. If you ever get curious, bored, you want to try something different, it is 1 cup of measuring for everything, and then you can go like 2 to 3 cups of the mini marshmallows when you mix it in, because they're like, I guess they're kind of the foundation of it. Everything kind of sticks to it. And I'm not a marshmallow guy. I don't really like cottage cheese. I like pineapple. Fruit salad, I guess, is okay. Nut, you know, pecans are good. And don't get them salted because the salt to counteract the sweetness. It's a weird one. So maybe I'll do a video one day, and like I recorded it all. Mike, what's up? Hash brown cheeseburger helper. Oh man, damn, you guys are gonna have me so hungry. I have to get off and go eat. Wife makes it now and then. Are you talking about uses Cool Whip, no cottage? Oh, really? That is so awesome. So maybe that's kind of like a Missouri thing. I don't know because I've never heard anybody else do anything remotely close to it. But it's something to where when you're like crazy hot outside, even though it has cottage cheese, which is like a dairy product, you would think it settles on your stomach. It's like sounds good when you're thinking about something to eat. Mosquitoes are so bad. Um, yeah, it's awesome. So something you could try maybe sometime. The more I look at myself on camera, the older I look. I'm my I'm gonna be totally white-headed soon. Nah, you don't use measuring. Yeah, I'm the same. I use a can of like that's basically what I do it. I buy two packages of pecans because they're both in a package. I do like a huge fistful of coconut flake. Marshmallows, I just dump into there and do a bunch until I see that the ratio is about right because you want it kind of heavy on the marshmallow side. But yeah, it's really good. I am I'm actually working on the next video for you guys. If I'm being honest, I don't let the comments like get to me usually, but I mean I get comments from old videos all the time, and stuff. And I guess I just got a couple. And with the way things have been, work has been so stuff has just been like non-existent, crazy slow. I kind of let it get to me, and I just kind of flaked out on editing and keeping the ball rolling. Um, that was the same thing with the live feed last night. I could have snuck it in, but it would have been lame, and I wouldn't have been. I kind of probably wouldn't have been very good. I wouldn't have talked to you guys for long. I would have looked for a reason to cut it off, and I was just in a mood. So yeah, like I said, I can't say that I let the comments get to me, but it can like sometimes can throw a bit of a wrench in your creative flow. And that's kind of what I got because it's like try to tell a story and then when that story doesn't come across right or it's taken wrong, you start to question the way you put it together and then you're like, well, maybe I'm not doing it right. And then but at the same time, that's just people. Everybody's got something bad to say about everything. So I got some leftover lasagna if you want to come down to Central. I'll That's tempting. That sounds good. I have to remember you, John, next time I go to Florida. I've been went to the ocean one time. Now I'm planning on going back. I gotta get my wife, and daughter back down there. So when we come down, maybe we could go have dinner, have a drink or something. Maybe I can meet a few people along the way, which would be kind of cool. But yeah. So I'm working on the video. It's not done, but I'll have that up. Uh, the rigging setup for it. Usually the rigging setup is more of a thought out thing. You know, as far as it working, being strong, and structurally good and everything. But at this, like on this particular job, it was more of a backup. Um, we knew we had it was resting. We knew that after we cut the stuff, it could potentially rip onto the roof, you know, smash the cyclone fence, rip the gutters off, and hit that air conditioning. So we definitely had to secure from the top. But I don't know if any of you have ever had this issue, but if you go to rig something from too horizontal of an angle, you no longer have actual control. um, I guess you do have control, but you don't. What's potentially going to happen is you're say you're rigging back to here, like this. Um, when it drops that little bit, it will do this or this. So you no longer have control, and it puts it over the fence, over with wherever. So if you notice, I tried to explain the rigging setup was like from like this spar, then it went over to this spar, then it went up into this spar, over to this spar, so that I could get it as far out on a little like the spot where I had it. There's no way that it could have physically held the weight that we were going to put on it. Like it's just not possible. It would have broke it out instantly. But with the addition of a couple other rigging points and redirects, you're actually, that spot can hold much more if it's having the pressure applied in a way that's to its benefit, you know. So let's say it's leaning this way, and you apply the pressure, and if you're rigging normally off of it, it takes it. It says boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now, when you take in and you run a rope, it's not just coming off this. You run that rope back here. It's now taking the two pieces and it's going to pull them together as weight drops into it. I know it sounds like it should still do this, but it's not going to. It's actually going to pull them together. So that's what you're looking to do with redirects. You know, apply pressure to the location in like a form, like in an angle that works best and is the safest. You know, I'm sure I'm not wording that correctly, but that's the whole reason for rigging redirects. A lot of times, especially when I use them, is to use a rigging location, a lowering point that is not strong enough, but if put in the right system and the right order, becomes strong enough. You know, you're sharing loads between certain crotches. So apparently that just didn't go my it didn't it just didn't go over like I thought. I mean, I guess maybe I didn't explain it all that good, but that rigging setup was set up specifically for the broken section. But then after I got going there, I realized, wow, I should have paid closer attention. Now this other section goes over this redbud tree, and it is like, I would say if I was guessing from the get go, I'd say it was at least a 50-50 chance we were going to destroy the redbud. There's just no, the limb that went over it was probably one, if not the highest point in the entire tree. So there's nothing to rig from. There was no other location to get a high point and be able to secure it from. Now, I guess you could say if I would allowed it to swing back to the location where it was at, it would have took the fence clean out, um, and also, you know, I needed it to not bounce and move so much. So those rigging redirects, when I put one there, I knew that because of how horizontal, how big of a section I was about to take, I'd cut some other stuff, and I was seeing how it was responding, and you can tell when it's about to barber chair. So you know you're doing such a big section, um, that it has that potential. It's running at a horizontal almost, so gravity has full pull on it at that time. You know, a vertical limb, you know, you can manipulate much more, but when you're dealing with horizontal, it's under, you know, full tension. So as I started to cut, you know, other branches I had noticed they were starting to barber chair as you were going through them. They're separating. So I'm like, well, a rigging, a redirect right here below it is going to give me a spot so I can lower it straight down. But I need to lower it, and you'll see in the video as soon as it comes out, we cut, that whole section lays into that redbud tree. Like it rests inside the redbud tree. So now what do? There's a couple sections on that redbud tree that are completely stone cold dead. They're insane. The tree isn't, it's a beautiful tree because I like redbuds, but as far as its health and, you know, structure, it was rough. But I couldn't damage it. It's not the person who was having the work done. This was just a neighbor. So, needless to say, this lady had me come to her place, and she's the one to where we just did the tree that had the ivy on it that was just completely rotten, and so she was the one that this is her house. The redbud is actually hers. So we cut it. It rests inside the redbud. So now what we would do was definitely need the bollard because it allows you with one guy to lock the system off, so you know it's not moving, it's not coming down, it's not, you know, shifting, um, and then send the ground guy over to go build, you know, and just dice it up and cut sections that'll grab a hold of branches and stuff. So I knew that I had enough room to put it in there without destroying the redbud, but I knew the forks were going to catch, everything was going to kind of lock up, and the only way to do it would be go ahead and seal it off and then cut. We could have potentially done some sort of a speed line, but I don't think we could have got enough movement to get over the fence without catching it, and I don't think we could have squeezed it into that little hole any better than we did. So you'll see in the video I show it, but yeah, that's just where I was at on that video. I mean, wasn't the best video in the world, but at the same time, I enjoyed kind of making it. I thought it was a decent video. So let's see. Oh man, I didn't realize it doesn't tell me when the comments come up. I don't understand why. And chase my dinner. I'm telling you, Clint, I'm the same way. I keep my pickle juice is usually resting. Last night was so bad. I woke up in the middle of the night. I've just recently blew my left knee out, and it comes out of place and won't go back in place a lot of times. It dislocates. So I was in bed. I'm sleeping. I wake up out of sleep. Full blown Charlie horse in my leg. My leg is out of place, so I go to jump up out of my bed to stand, and I crumble. And I grab myself, I pull myself back up. I can't. The Charlie horse is so bad, I can't fold my leg in the way that I need to be able to get it to pop back into place. So I'm just suffering through it. So as I come through the kitchen, reach over, grab the pickle juice, start slugging away at it. If you look that up, pickle juice is actually not a cure for for Charlie horses, but it does something to your brain receptors that shuts off whatever it is that tells it to have a Charlie horse. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I looked it up and I'm like, the two things I've always used for Charlie horses like potassium. Eating bananas. I used to have these little potassium packs that I could dump into a bottle of water at work, and they worked really good. They didn't have a flavor or nothing to them, so it was just some white powder. Dumped it in there, and kind of had some milky water looking water, but it didn't change the flavor or nothing. But when I looked it up, neither one of those are remedies for. Well, I guess they would be remedies, but they're not. They don't prevent you from getting Charlie horses, I guess. I don't know. Google it when you get a chance. Look it up. It's weird that pickle juice is not on it. So I thought that was kind of strange. But I looked pickle juice up and it says that even scientists have yet to figure out why it does something to the receptor to tell it to stop a Charlie horse. So it's like a quick cure, but like not a long term, I guess. Has anybody else ever? Who whip? I get two extra. There's two queens. What? I'm coming to stay with you, John. Oh, that's awesome, John. That's awesome. We should definitely meet up. If I get my way down there, I'll kind of track out of the way if I have to, whether it's on the way there, on the way back, something like that. We definitely have to get together. There's a good group of you guys that I feel compelled to do whatever I have to. I feel like we should meet up. You guys have just, I don't know, I'm closer to you guys than I am 99% of people. I mean, my parents, my brother, my in laws, my daughter, and my wife. My dog, sometimes I want to punch him, though. So. What did I say? Oh, bro, I was such a mood. I called the day off and went back. Oh, hey, you gotta know yourself, ground pounder. Some days that's just what you gotta do, man. Doesn't that put compression back into the tree to make it stronger? You said. Yeah. Well, um, being able to compress like a single stem tree, um, running that rigging rope down the actual shape of the tree, that can cause compression as opposed to when you're holding the line out here and it goes up and then it goes, when you're rigging a piece. Now you're kind of putting side pull, so you can add compression by using the right rope angles. Rope angles mean so much when it comes to rigging. So if you have two spars right here like this, and you just want to rig off this one, but you're worried about it failing, you would go ahead and use this other one over here. You would run the rope up to it, then run it across. So now, no longer is it doing this. It's now, when you rig, it's going and actually compressing the two together as opposed to pulling by just the addition of another redirect behind it in the right location. So, I mean, location is everything. It's in location. Everybody needs a day off. That's right, Billy. Voice in the trees. Oh, what's up? Treetop rigging requires time to process. Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, 100%. Um, and I think people that maybe are good with math and stuff like that maybe get it a little more because a lot of it has to do with like geometry and angles and I can't say that like I was the best at that, but I understand that kind of stuff and I catch on to it very quick and like I find it just a lot of times my rigging setups maybe are overkill. You could get away with rigging off that single branch. Um, and get the giggles of watching it bounce like crazy and go. So I just don't. That's just not my style. Like there's a huge difference when you're doing things and it's all on you and you don't have that cushion. You know, you don't. It's not someone else's stuff. You know, it's one mistake can just end you. So, and I don't mean like by getting hurt. I mean you smash the right thing, damage the right thing, it's hard to pull out of. So it's like I've managed to have my mistakes without having the god awful outcome, in the long run. So I feel blessed. And then I feel like I definitely should spend the time to help and maybe keep that from happening to somebody else. I've hit things that should have never been hit. Um, like if we're just telling goofy stories, don't know if I've ever told this, but let me catch up on comments. For being owner operator, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was miserable. It's still hot as hell out here. I haven't wore a shirt all day, but I feel weird being on YouTube live with no shirt. So yeah. Oh, these are the greatest shirts in the world. I don't know if you can read this. It's like 30 degrees cool or something like that. This is the lightest shirt I've ever felt in my life. It weighs nothing. It's like wearing nothing. It actually kind of keeps you cool. I gotta figure out if I can get these in high vis because I will buy nothing other than these for summertime. Yeah, that's about where we're at here, Billy. Call me 98 and Mo. Yeah. Oh, Jared, what's up, man? Okay, keep that 100. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's a hard one to breathe and deal with, but yeah, last week was miserable. It was 90 upstate New York today. It was brutal. Oh man, terrible. Yeah, I bet you guys don't. That's not normal at all for you guys. Man, that's got to be a bummer. 'Cause well, I expect it. I mean, it's miserable. I feel like the reason work wasn't coming in is because the weather was too nice. People were outside. They were just farting around doing their own thing. I can't count how many homeowners I've seen with ladders propped up against their trees that have done their own trees. I feel like I've like done YouTube videos for them, and now they've went outside. I don't know. I hope that's not the case. I try not to do any ladder videos. So if you're doing it on a ladder, that I didn't show you that don't put that on me. But yeah, I figured now that the weather is miserable, that's when work comes in. When people are like, "You're crazy for being out there," or I want you to come start on whatever cool day you want. I need you want to wait for a cool. I'm like, no, actually, to tell you the truth, the electric company and like the bank, they don't really care. They want their money. So like, I kind of have to work through it. And they're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's just, I've had some really nice people. They actually care. So 100 in Arkansas, Jackson Beach. Dang. Yeah, it's just been. Has it been real muggy where you guys are at? Yeah, mine is my legs. My legs are so bad. It's usually upper thighs and calves. So that completely lock up. Yeah, they used to sell Turbo. They was selling like pickle juice slushies and stuff too. I think Sonic was for a while. You can buy popsicles. They sell them at like baseball games for like the baseball players. You go to softball games. Pickle juice popsicles. Plenty of them around here. Black widows, brown widows. Dang. Yeah, I've seen a lot of spiders and stuff too, which is really weird. Heading out for a ride on the bike. Be safe. Hey, Clint, you be good, buddy. Stay safe, and thanks for. I really appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, Turbo, I agree. The humidity is what makes it just miserable. The heat is something that's manageable, but the humidity makes everything stick to you. Makes you start to sweat while you're standing still, and it just makes breathing tough. So, but I've always been the type of person that enjoys pushing their body to the limit to see what it can handle. So, I guess it's I feel like it's all part of the game. The Charlie horses and everything. So I know when I'm out sweating like crazy and I'm being stupid and not drinking enough, I'm gonna pay for it that night. You can guarantee it. Here in North Carolina, the majority of my business starts when the hurricane season. Yeah, yeah, I bet. So, I mean, that's kind of how I feel like it's been for me. So, I mean, it's been bad here too. Oh, Rob, what is up? Rob Bob. Hey, brother, good to see you. Oh, that's awesome. Comfortable in the canopy, thank you. Oh no, my pleasure, buddy. It's no need, no need. Yeah, I've been climbing for 2 years. That's awesome. That's now you're every day. Every day is gonna be a day where you you button up a technique or you learn something new, and you stay open minded and don't settle with like, okay, that happened. Why'd it happen? I know people like, well, this crazy thing happened today. And I'm not that guy. Like, if something happened, like, I gotta know why. That's just me. So I feel like that's helped me understand a lot of things and helps with trying to correct a lot of things. So if you're a guy like me that will make a mistake and put it on the internet and let the world make fun of you for it, you have to know how to correct it in the long run. So I'm glad, dude. I'm stoked that everything's working out for you, though. That's really cool. The moment the snow is gone here in West Michigan, I'm booked 2 months. Yeah, I see. Things was kind of like that for me, um, but it just stopped to the point that it got sketchy, scary. Like, oh no, nothing. So it is what it is. I'm not. This isn't the place to come whine about that. So I mean, it's kind of been that way for a while, and I think that's why I was so aggravated with YouTube taking my money too, because it's like, Jesus Christ, not no money rolling in, and then YouTube just taking the few bucks that they pay me. Like, come on. So that's where my aggravation for the YouTube money was really coming from. So, and nothing has changed with YouTube. They just continue to lower to the point that I'll be doing good to afford to take care of my SD cards now. So, I don't know, stupid. Feel like I got blacklisted somehow. 100% turbo. They don't give a shit about your weather. I have a guy up by me that's custom printing DRI fit shirt with logos in safety orange and green. Oh, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Do you know any climbers who keep going after a hip replacement surgery? I hope to return to climbing after surgery in July. Um, Now hip replacements, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I mean, I broke my back. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but my ribs are still poking out of my chest here. But they've kind of settled in pretty good. Yeah, there they are. There's my sternum. It's no longer connected here. So those ribs just. So, you know, my pelvis, everything was cracked. I was crippled. So, I mean, you can do whatever you set your mind to. I mean, I don't personally know any. I know my dad had full back surgery, like, and he was like, depends on you as a person, your personality. I mean, if you're like my dad was, I mean, he got his surgery and he was out in the yards with like this turtle shell on his back. Like he's supposed to be in bed, but he's got his turtle shell on, looking like a ninja turtle out there. So depends on the person. It really does. If you're stubborn hillbilly like me or my dad, yeah, 100%. I got what you were saying though, boys. I'd be glad to set you up with one. I may take you up on that ground pounder. Yeah. I have mine here in town, and I have to go do one anyway. But I need to find these specific. Like I okay, a normal T-shirt, the lightest T-shirt I've ever come across ever. I bet this weighs a quarter of that. Like it is. It's like a stretchy material. It's the lightest thing I've ever felt in my life. It is amazing. If you pay attention to the UV, that will tear you up too. Yeah. And then learning never stops. That's the way to be, Rob. If you can realize that it doesn't mean you can't you won't get to a point to where you haven't mastered your craft. You can be a complete master of it. But any of those masters that tells you that they stop learning at a certain point, they stop learning because they stopped wanting to learn. So they just felt like I'm a master. I don't need. So every day's a learning experience. You can get something out of it every day, even the bad days. You know, especially the bad days usually. But people don't want to relive them and think about them and talk about them, and But you can get them from the good too. So, oh, what we got here? Francisco, what is up, brother? I just got the unit. Oh, dude, awesome. And tree motion saddle for taking down the oak trees for another company. And I gotta say, it's a pretty cool device. And I've got plenty good with the triple thumb. Oh, really? That's awesome. That's so cool. Rob, you, I think I still prefer to. Yeah, I mean, to get up in a tree, you know, and to do it like the Grigri setup is so effortless. Like I get it. It is such a handy tool. It's the quickest one that you could ever hook up. Like why someone hasn't taken that tool and mastered it in a better way. I feel like that's what they tried to do with the akimbo. I feel like that's what the akimbo was. They were trying to, they seen, how good the Gree works with the loaded cam system, but then at the same time they're looking over here at something like the bulldog bone and they're like, let's put them together. So a Gree bulldog bone, a Gree bone is an akimbo. That's my that's official quote for me. Gree bone. Knee surgery, and I had Achilles knee surgery. Full on recovery. Yeah, yeah. Your recovery is essential. Like, you know, take care of yourself. You have to, especially if you want to go back to destroying yourself, because that's what this work does. It There's not a better feeling when you get home than knowing you earned everything and you worked your tail off and you exercised your body. Um, and I think that's something that's lost kind of in translation nowadays. So it's now just looked at as low class to work with your hands. But I've been low class. I have no problem staying low class. It is what it is. Just don't try to start climbing too soon after surgery, brother. That's what will get you. Yeah, yeah. You should definitely. I think you should treat it. Definitely treat it like when you first started, low and slow. Um, if you have that urge and you feel like you're at that point, you slap your saddle on at home. You put all your gear on. You put your chainsaw on your side. You see what that feels like swinging off your hips, and you may say, "Ooh, not good." That'll keep you from going and taking your guys and getting everybody together, or going telling your boss, "Yeah, I'm ready to work," and you show up and you're like, "Whoa, I didn't realize that this is gonna hurt this much." There's straining and stress that we put on parts of our bodies that other people will never know. So definitely a good advice to not go in too soon. You know, respect that healing process and go through it and take care of yourself. I mean, if you can figure out ways to speed it up, go for it. But yeah. Unless I gotta run, gotta mow the back. Yeah, I hear you. I gotta plant. I have a couple plants I gotta go put in the ground, so I'm gonna end up cutting this kind of short. Plus, I want to go in and try to work on that video for you guys and get it out. So I dig. I feel like Tuesday should be our day that we do this because it was once before, and we called it Triple T, Tree Talk Tuesday. Maybe, I mean, if you guys are all cool with it, I Tuesday maybe works better. I don't know, but yeah, I apologize for not being able to to get it done yesterday. Kind of sucked to have that first time where I really missed, but what do you do? You guys wouldn't have liked me if I'd have got on here anyway. But hey, Mike, stay safe. Hey, thanks for hanging out, buddy. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. Oh, hey, Mike, if you're still here, I took that spray stuff and I put it on my grind box, and it worked awesome. It worked really good. I was surprised. Next month, I'm going to try to buy a pinto pulley and a pressing cord so I can start on a moving rope system. Cool, John. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely give it a try. It's you climb probably on a taut line or I don't even remember Blake's hitch. I never called ours a taut line. We just called it the climbing knot. 2 under, 1 over. And I know most people go 2 under, 2 over, but I used it for so long. I wanted reaction, quick reaction. So we do 2 under, 1 over, and yeah, that's what I learned on. That's what I climbed on. That was the majority of my career. So day fine until you fix it. Oh, really? I'd say suck it. I'll cut my stuff when I get time. That's the stuff I would bring. I'd send you a shirt. Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd rock it. Ground pounder. Right about the akimbo. I think the same thing. Yeah, yeah. Anybody that's ever used the gree, I feel like they rushed it. The akimbo by trying to be the first ones to have that idea of a loaded cam system in the bulldog bone form, which is only at a two contact point. It actually runs system runs around, so I think it's only actually 2 points with bends. But yeah, whisper the art of vinegar. Get it? Gree bone, love it. Yeah, right on. Oh, we got Dan here too. Yeah, Tuesday works for me. It's probably better. Well, hey, I tell you what. Maybe we'll switch it to Tuesdays. Unless I hear anybody saying they would rather have it on Monday, we'll probably switch it to Tuesday. It just works. I have a name for it. It's not just on live feed, and it has little bit of history for us behind it, and that's where a lot of the me sharing and like being more technical and in depth with like info. I can't really do that in the videos. So the live feeds a lot of times are going to be the place where if you have a question, especially if you feel like it's something that's complicated, I'm more of a verbal, physical kind of person. I can show you, say it as opposed to text. And so sometimes that's hard. I'm loving the hitchhiker. Oh, I bet you are. That thing looks awesome. Right on, Jared. You guys are the best. Yeah, Mike, it is crazy slick. I started doing like all my slide tricks and stuff, and it was just wild how quick like it slid, and then it kind of started to wear off because it's just rubbing it off every time with constant friction. So then I put wax over it, and it had filled all the crevices and everything, and it flew after that. It was insane. So I dig it. I'll get a lot of use out of it. I'll take it to the skate park. I'm gonna do a whole curb in it. I've been cool with any. I know, John. You're just loyal to a T. He said, "Have a great weekend, Turbo. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I really thanks for always hanging out. I appreciate you." Right on, John. I try to put a little bit of the personal life stuff into the live feeds because you're definitely. I'm just not a real verbal person. Like I'm pretty private. Um, but I get it. I get it. I want you guys to kind of know me or be able to relate to me, and it's hard to do if you don't know the person personally. Like if you're only watching him work, like yeah, he could be a good tree guy, but he could be a jerk or an asshole or just an all-around piece of shit in general. So I try not to be any of those, but I'm probably sometimes. Oh, bridge burner, what is up, man? Damn it, I have not got to catch up on like your last 2 or 3 videos too. I'm gonna have to sit down and like just get on like just 45 minutes set aside and get on there because I always have somebody news channel I'm supposed to try to check out, and I can't. I always have troubles. Well, we're probably gonna switch it to Tuesday then. Let's we're official right now. I like the personal touch to it. Yeah, it's tough for me to do. Um, I'm just very like I know it seems crazy for someone to be uploading videos to YouTube for years and not only that, but uploading every mistake I've ever made. At least the only one I've never uploaded was something I didn't get. I mean, was my fault. I mean, you guys would have seen that if I'd had that footage. But I just, I don't know. I feel like I'm a very complicated individual with many flaws. And I don't know if most people could handle it if I told them. So, thanks, Turbo. Did you just hear him just a second ago? He was back there yapping. I'm just all I've been waiting for. I think my wife's trying to be nice. She hasn't let him out yet, so I should probably end it and let him come outside and go potty because that's all the dude does is bark. So anyway, you can comment on my channel with an email, and if you're cool with, I'd like some info to send you. Yeah, or any of you guys that just want to communicate with me just in general. Um, my email address is bufbeckett@gmail. So it's Beauf Beckett, Beckett @gmail.com. So it's all lowercase. So Beckett at Gmail. My middle name's Buford. I don't know if I've ever said that either. Yeah, Buford. When I was younger, I used to lie and say my middle name was Dustin. And I hated them teachers that would give your full name in class the first day. Like, you trying to embarrass me? What the hell? And then I got older and I realized I liked the name. But when I was younger, I thought it was the dumbest thing. I'm the second, so can't talk too much shit on it. It's my dad's name, too. But I'll see if I can. I remember I had trouble finding yours, Ground Pounder. I don't know why. You know what? Maybe I can go into my studio and click on one of your comments and see if it'll take me to your channel. That way, I'll try. Let me see what I can do, buddy. I'm gonna try because I want to see your stuff on YouTube too. I haven't found it. So one last thing, fellas, listen. Happy good day in the morning. 100%, Mike. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate it. The skeeter herder. Yeah, yeah. I hear him. He's in there barking right now. The mistake is important. Too many people pretend. Yeah, yeah. You can almost tell on a lot of these YouTube videos when the mistake has happened, and you can see their fickle attempt at covering it up by doing a crappy edit. So, yeah, the story usually jumps all over the place. Yeah, yeah, he's barking right now. He's trying to be quiet, but I hate that the chat doesn't link to channels anymore. Oh, really? Yeah, see, that's kind of dumb. I don't really understand that. And I don't understand why I had so much trouble finding ground pounders stuff, but yeah. Once again, my email for anybody, bufbeckett@gmail.com. BeufBeckett @gmail.com. And you can email me anytime. Um, I have some emails that I need to. Oh my god, I have some things that I am so far behind on that I should have done. Life. What do you do? You can't handle the truth. Yeah, I know. I subscribe to Big Burner Skill. Yeah, it's good stuff. He's uh he's very good, and I don't know if you guys are still here. My daughter's calling, so I gotta hop off here. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Maybe we'll do another live some point within the week here, and I will work on you guys' next video, and I'll have it out very soon. Thanks for hanging out, and I apologize for kind of cutting it short, but you guys are the best. Thanks again. Stay safe. See you, Jared.